bit of this idea of, I call it maybe a forward press with the body. You know, Lehman does this before he swings. He swings his arms forward, then he swings back. That's sort of his practice motion. But your setup is very good here. Your back is straight, but I think there's a tad too much weight on your heels. That would be my guess. Now, what's wrong with that takeaway? Not a whole lot, other than your hands are outside. And what we want to do is get the hands to swing right on the plane of the shaft. Now, how do you do that? Well, you practice it, number one, but number two, if your left arm is connected to your chest and you take your swing away with your trunk, in other words, your core takes the club away, the club should go back straight. So, is that a big deal breaker for me? No, it's not a big deal breaker. There's guys that play on tour that take the club outside. Fred Couples is one of them. There's a lot of guys that do. You know, but is that my preference? No, it's not a preference that I would want in your golf swing. Most tour players will take the club back on the plane line. And that's pretty darn good. Now I'm going to put somebody up here that has won. This guy right here is the fourth most winningest player in the last 20 years. Who's that?
Zach Johnson.
Right. So, Tiger's won the most tournaments. Phil Mickelson's won the second most. Vijay Singh has won the third most. And Zach Johnson, in the last 15 years, has won the most tournaments and the most money. Now, he's 5'10". He drives the ball as far as I do. He does not hit the ball very far. Why is he good? Well, if I took a post and I tied a string on the post and I swung my hand really fast, pretty soon that ball would start to orbit at 90 degrees to that string. That's a point of maximum velocity. So the faster I move this, the faster the ball moves. In his golf swing, he has a very rotational swing. But what he tries to do, and his coach, Mike Bender, he tries to get his left arm perpendicular to his spine angle. Notice how he takes the club right on the plane line. Now that's pretty good. His left arm is pretty much at right angles to his spine, give or take. All right, now where do you go in your backswing that we're going to change is,
back to being vertical.
It's a little high, right? So we want your left arm to be on that plane. That's the angle of your shoulders. That's okay. Now, are there guys that played good golf with that angle? Sure. Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson, pretty good players. They played with a high swing.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's a preference, it's not a law. The only law is the face has to be perpendicular to target line and impact. Now,
But you're more likely to get that way,
right,
not with a vertical swing.
Right. The preference would be to go a little lower than that on the backswing. Now, there's a couple drills you do. You stand with your butt against the wall and you put your hands on the wall, right over your right shoulder. You just take your hands and put them on the wall behind you.
Are you doing any of these exercises?
Yes.
Not yet, but that's okay. He'll get there. Now, look at that. Now, that's good. What's good about that downswing? That club's coming in on a nice, right in there on plane. The face is a little bit shut right there. Right there, the face is closed. Let's look at Zach Johnson. When he gets coming down, what you're going to see when the hands get just below the hips, this shaft is running right through the forearm. Now that means his line of force is going straight, acceleration straight to the ball. That's a good position. All right, now, notice his feet. Look at your feet. What do you see the difference?
Heel is way up.
Right, his heel's way up. Why is his heel way up? Well, because he's run out in front of it with his lower body.
Right, he has to take it up.
That's right, because to get there, to get the hips rotated, the heel's got to come up.
But he's lost his power.
So what's happened here is his body's a little too far out in front. So that's why we're doing that drill where I want your arms to drop and then move through. That's the difference. Now, that's always been a concern for me. So you can see right there those two differences. You see how his hips aren't really turned yet, right?
Mhm.
But from that point to the ball, you're going to see a massive rotation.
Because he's going to really fire.
Yeah. So when he gets in the hitting zone, or we call it delivery, he's going to start to unwind his lower body rapidly. There's contact. Now, as I'm telling you, watch the release of the right arm into a straight line condition there. So I want that left wrist to be flat, and I want the arms fully extended. Now watch how long his arms stay straight. This is why he hits it so straight. That's what Hogan did. That's what all great ball strikers did. Lee Trevino, Byron Nelson, they're all
And
in
that's
it.
also where the power comes from.
Well, sure. But again, you know, power is only good if you can hit the ball straight. As Harvey Penick said, the woods are full of long hitters. So that's a nice position. See where you are? That's a nice position, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's good club face position. Similar, right? His heel's not up as much as yours, but we've worked on that.
Yeah.
So what am I saying on all this analysis? I'm saying we're going to lower your hands. That's the first step. And we're going to get your takeaway straight back. And that's it. You can play good golf with your golf swing. You already proven that.
We want him to play excellent.
Yeah, you can do better.
Absolutely.
All right. So what did I just tell you? Two things. We're going to get the backswing a little more straight back, but more importantly, I want to get that left arm. Now, there's a lot of drills you can do. One is that where I told you to reach behind and touch the wall. The other one's grab your left wrist, pull your left arm across your chest. Do that 50 times a day.
Now, he told you that last time. Have you been doing that?
Yes, I've been doing that, Dad.